Everyone, it's Michael here from Replica Airguns with another field test shooting video here in the C-Can. We're going to use this KJWorks KP-08. It's basically a 1911 high kappa. This one is using a CO2 magazine. It is universal in that it can take both CO2 and gas magazines. It does have the red nozzle in it. Watch my tabletop video for more information on that. Got some close-up video. I do a little bit of a field strip on the gun, show you around, talk about specs and things like that. So if that interests you, check out that video. That's a different video where you actually get to see the gun up close. This is the shooting video. So we're going to put about 5 rounds through the chrony here, see what kind of feet per second we can get. Then we're going to put 10 rounds into the target and see what kind of accuracy we can get from about 30 feet back. Okay, so let's just drop the slide here, and we're just going to put 5 rounds through the chrony. 361, 356, 342, 349, and this might be it. 344. I can't remember if I took 5 or 4 shots. We're just going to do one more. Just, well, it's a fun gun to shoot. Really has a lot of snap. Going to lock that slide in place with the safety on. All right, so 348 was the last. We're looking pretty close to 350. Now it is only about 15 degrees Celsius. Let's check with Google to see what that is in Fahrenheit for you US American folk here. Hey Google, how many degrees is 15 degrees in Fahrenheit? Did I say that right?
15 degrees Celsius equal 59 degrees Fahrenheit.
So just about 60 degrees. We'll give it, say, 60 degrees and about 15 to 16 degrees Celsius, about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So not exactly warm. This gun will shoot harder and faster in warmer conditions. The cooler it gets, the slower it's going to shoot. The velocity is going to drop. I had someone arguing with me this week about that. But everybody that I know, myself included, when I test, if it's warmer, they shoot faster. If it's colder, they shoot slower, and at some point, sometimes blowback operation won't even work if it gets too cold. So CO2 is affected by cold temperature. The colder it is, the worse CO2 or most expandable gases perform. All right, let's set up the paper target 30 feet down range and see what kind of accuracy we get with this, fairly decent, it's got some good FPS pistol. I have a target set up 30 feet down range. We're going to proceed right away here with my 10-shot grouping. Got the sandbag here, a nice sandbag to rest the old pistol on, sitting down in a stool. And basically, it's a pretty steady position, but, there's a lot of human factor involved. It's not in a vise or anything, and, I'm not always as consistent every day. But we're going to try, and I'm just basically going to aim just under the bullseye and see if we can pop 10 rounds as close together as possible. Safety off. Should be one more. Okay, hopefully they're pretty well centered. I really don't know. My vision is not the greatest at this range. Okay, it looks like they're all a little bit low, but in a nice, tight, consistent group. About 2.5 inches, because these squares represent about 3 inches all the way in a square, and we went from about there to there. So that's, almost 2 and a bit, 2 1/4, up to say 2.5 inches max. Oh, I do see we did get one stray up here. So we did get one higher one. So that's about a 3-inch group. But if we pull that guy out and went with this tighter group down here, definitely about 2 to just over 2 inches. Well centered left to right, just a little bit low. Really not bad at all, though. I think that's a pretty decent grouping. I haven't adjusted the sights in any way. I haven't adjusted hop up. So essentially we could add a little bit more backspin, and it'll bring it up a little bit higher. At 30 feet, we should be able to bring that BB up just a little bit using the hop up. I'm pretty sure I haven't, in the manual doesn't say whether the sight is adjustable, but there is a screw here that allows you to take the rear sight out and basically slide it in. and it didn't look like there was actually a hole that it went into in the slide. It's just a pressure fit type thing. So you should be able to adjust the rear sight left or right to adjust for windage. In this case, I don't think we'd really need to. It's pretty close, but hop up for sure wouldn't hurt. Bringing it up just a little bit at this range, you know, usually at about 30 feet, if you're hitting bullseyes, is pretty good. At least the ranges that I'm shooting at. So you'd have to adjust it for whatever range you're shooting at. Nice gun. Trigger, typical 1911 trigger, you know, very little take up, fairly lightweight, but it's not crazy light. I did notice that I was feeling like I was having to put a little more pressure than normal on a normal 1911. Now that's because I was shooting, you know, accurately and keeping everything really slow. In the heat of battle, you're just going to be pumping that trigger. It's not heavy by any means, so you'll be able to get quick shots off really quick, and you won't notice that it's a little bit heavier than maybe some 1911s. It's not a bad thing. You're not going to have any accidental, you know, misfires because the trigger's so light, so that's not a bad thing. But really nice gun, really good balance. I love the sights. The blowback feel is excellent with the CO2 mag. Probably a little bit lighter with the gas mag, but still really feels good. Shoots nice, decent. Right, FPS is right where you want it to be. I really can't say too much more about this gun. It's a great gun. It's actually one of the lower priced KJWorks guns, possibly because of the polymer frame. It's not as high priced as some other ones, just around a couple $100 here in Canada. So at the time of this video anyways. That's enough. Check out the links in the description if you're interested in buying it here in Canada. I'll put links in the description. I'll also put a link for the written post, and also make sure to check out the tabletop video where I get in tighter and show you this gun up a little closer and with a, you know, field stripping and all that. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. By the way, I just started up an Instagram account. There's basically not much there, but you know, come on over. Replica Airguns is the account name. So check it out. There will be more and more content, and especially when I go to places like SHOT Show, I'll be able to put some live stuff on there, like stuff as it happens. So it's going to be more instantaneous stuff. Just, you know, if I get a gun in and I want to take a quick picture, that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be putting on Instagram. Just, you know, odds and ends and kind of cool stuff I come across. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.